long last, I hear you say. Thank you for joining us at Og Sports Unleashed, episode 27, last in the series 2. What could go wrong? Well, we're obviously blaming the producer already for blowing up the equipment and having nothing to do with any audio at all. But wherever you're watching us, whether it's your bathrooms, your jacuzzis, your hot tubs, your greenhouses, wherever you are, thank you for joining us again on a Thursday night at Oxford Downs Cricket Club. Thank you very much. Lots to show you tonight. Lots going on. Couple of interviews. One with Matt Watts concerning Gosford All Blacks rugby, and one with Matt Warner talking all things Oxford Downs and Home Counties Premier League. I think we'll crack on quite quickly. But over to you.
I fancy a bit of karaoke tonight, actually. Shall I start singing? No, that'll put people off, won't it? Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. And, thank you for your patience. Just wanted to say we're absolutely blown away with the support over the last few weeks in particular when this person wasn't around, which was quite good. And I put the microphone a little bit higher. Thank you, Darryl. I'm not used to holding a microphone like this. And we've had over 1,000 views in the last couple of weeks, which is unbelievable, absolutely amazing. And so thank you. And as you can see, Darryl has decided to grace us with his presence this evening after going around the Arctic Circle last week. Did you enjoy it? Was it a bit cold?
Yeah, a bit chilly, but very, very enjoyable.
Bit chilly. Right, this is very, very amateur, which we've always been very proud to say. And hopefully, I do feel like singing. I was singing earlier. I'm very good at karaoke. So coming up tonight, we've got some rugby union. We've got, as Darryl said, Matt Watts in a few moments. We've got some Chinner highlights. We've got the Oxfordshire Senior Cup final with some interviews. The Oxfordshire Under-18 Girls Cup final. We've got cricket. And everything else in between, plus our goal of the season competition. And there are some real humdingers in there again this season. So please stay tuned for the hour. I know we're a little bit late, but it will be hopefully well worthwhile. And you can stick with us while we're on the mics. Darryl.
Thank you, KDog. That's very good. Right, I can't even say the eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that KDog has left the building because he's leaving the building, and we're going to be joined by young Matt Watts, the coach of Gosford All Blacks. Just wanted to ask, first of all, Matt, thanks for joining us. But the season for Gosford, pretty decent, wasn't it?
Yeah, very good, actually. We continue to punch above our weight, which is great. Ideally, we wanted to finish second in the league, and I'll go on to that in a little bit. But more important, most pleasing thing of the lot, the second team won their league as well. So, and both teams had the lowest points scored against them in both leagues as well. So we got a third team out more and more as well this year. So it's quite rare that we continue to grow as a rugby club at grassroots as well. So yeah, good, really good season, really positive.
That's really good to hear. And like we say on Og Sports Unleashed, it's all about the grassroots sports, and that's a really good example of that. What's for the future for Gosford? Obviously a good season. How can you build on that for the next season?
Do the simple things well, Woodsy, really. The old KISS thing, really. Keep it simple, stupid. So we've got a really good ethos at the club. We don't have any egos because we knock it out of people, and if they've got an ego, they don't stay very long. And it's all about numbers. Now, whether or not you're a Tom Costley, Tom Powell, or other boys at Gosford, I only made those names because you obviously know them, or you're just coming back into rugby, you haven't played for 15, 20 years, it doesn't matter. So, yeah, they got a great team spirit. The boys sing well and drink well together, which is always a good sign. So, and they want to get better, and they're really tight, they're really close. So, yeah, we're very lucky. We're really lucky.
Yeah, you mentioned those two Toms. Actually, I have spoken to them about the camaraderie and the wherefore of nothing about the coaching at all, nothing about the manager, coach, anything. No manager, just the coach. But they say they just enjoy playing and they have fun playing, and that's the sort of ethos around Gosford, and that's probably fair to say from what you've alluded to already.
Yeah, I try and get them to be as professional as they can, but when you get a story that Tom Powell has seen in a wine bar until 10 to 2 on the Saturday morning and then rocks up and 12 hours later he's tearing it up on the pitch, then you can't be too cross with him really, can you? But yeah, the boys work hard. We've been getting good numbers at training. We've probably averaged 30, 35 after Christmas, the run into the end of the season. I think we had 44 on the last session of the year, which is bloody remarkable, really. I think the toughest challenge for me is that we've got a real mix of talent from people that are just coming back into the game or have never played the game before up to our best players, and then trying to build a session around that it's enjoyable for everybody and everyone's getting something out of it. So sometimes the first team boys have to be a little bit patient, but they understand that it's a bigger picture. So I think if I just got the first team boys on their own every Tuesday, every Thursday, we could probably achieve a bit more. But it's not about that. And I think my goal is, and has been for the last 5 or 6 seasons, that if we still end up with 2 competitive teams playing League Rugby at the end of the season, we're winning. You know, bearing in mind, you know, we talk about Oxford Harlequins and they've ended up being brilliant, but that was Oxford Old Boys and Oxford Marathons that merged. They had 9 teams. Now they're down to 3 or whatever it is, and you can say the same story about most clubs. So, you know, rugby continues to die on its arse quite quickly. So the RFU will have you believe it's growing because the touch rugby and ladies rugby is obviously going to go off like a rocket, and certainly in a World Cup year with the Women Homes World Cup, and they just scraped the Six Nations. So, you know, that again, they will inspire young girls to come out and play, but grassroots adult rugby is struggling.
Yeah, so you we're going to come to Oxfordshire rugby, but you sort of alluded to it there of how it is at the moment. Is there any ladies teams at Gosford at the moment? And the youth system's pretty decent as well, isn't it?
Yeah, this is the first year that I've been there. I think I've been there for about 12 years or maybe a bit longer. The lads will say it's probably felt like 112 years. The same old story, same old patter, same old pre-match nonsense. The sad thing is now, Woodsy, that nobody gets my gags because they're all too young. So I've imported a couple of old knackers just to laugh at my jokes to me.
I have that problem.
Yeah. We used to laugh at my jokes. So you can come and play if you want. What was the question? Oh no. Yeah. So this is the first year that I've got a cult section that are coming up into the adults next year, which is great. So. There's a lad at the club, Tom Hayden, that's taken it upon himself to sort of look after those, one or two other guys. And they've done a brilliant job, and they're coming through. So it'd be great to work with some fresh boys that want to learn. And if they don't want to learn, then go join another club, really. I told them that when I was talking the other day. Anyway, so that's good. So the Colt section, the mini jacks is pretty good. Their girls sections look quite strong. They've got a ladies team now, but they used to mix with Whitney, and it's all been a little bit muddled with the ladies, but we got a ladies team now, so yeah.
It's all good going forward, doesn't it, actually? I'm going to take you to the England rugby and, the recent Six Nations. How do you feel that that's looking at the moment for us?
Yeah, we got bags of talent, and I think we should have, because obviously the player pool that we've got compared with Wales and Scotland, everyone's lambasting Wales at the minute, but I think they've always overpunched. You look at the size of the country, they've got 200 rugby clubs and we've got 2,000 or whatever the numbers are. Obviously, Ireland have got an amazing structure, so you get into that school structure, then you go into Leinster or Munster or the other mob. I can't think of them, that's bad, isn't it, up in Belfast, the Northern... Ulster! So they've got a really, really good structure. We don't have that same structure, but so player pool, yes, but if you go back... Yeah, it's the same as anything, same as cricket, same as any sport. You just you'll have a golden era, won't you? You look at some of the cricketers that we've had that have all played at the same time. 2003 was the golden era for us, and it's all right. People saying, "Oh, Steve Bolt at this." He probably knows more about it than most people. These boys are. They're told what to eat, when to do this, when to do that. Everything's monitored. He knows what mental state they're in, etc., physical state, and he picks his team on that. He's quite a knowledgeable bloke. You don't get to where he's got. So, yeah, there's a great talent, and I think the Six Nations good. We could have been better against one or two sides, but he goes out and is brilliant week in, week out, apart from you, Woodsy, when you went in the batting.
That's very true. I heard it here first.
I think the future for English, the men's team is pretty rosy. They just got to sit together. They work really hard. I think they're one of the youngest teams in the Six Nations, next to Italy. So, and it's all about building for the next World Cup. So, who knows? But then France are quite good. New Zealand are quite good. South Africa got 2 really good sides. So, yeah, it's quite tough.
It's tough. Obviously, you had a bit of a situation recently. Very. I'll rephrase my question. You managed to get to Twickenham, didn't you? I mean, was this had you played there before, and how did this come about?
Well, I played there before. No, the closest I got was the Stoop over the road where Quinn's play, so opposite each other. So that was in the 5th round of the Pilkington Cup back in 1906 or whatever it was. But yeah, so that was mega. So, you know, the football, the Pilkington Cup was like the old FA Cup, and you could sort of go through. So I went there with Cheltenham. They had started with 11 internationals, which is a bit unfair, but there you go. So that was brilliant. So no, never been to Twickenham. Obviously been to Twickenham loads of times. So basically, because we have been successful as a grassroots club by growing. The RFU did this thing, sort of takeover day at the Allianz, they call it, because the sponsorship is Twickenham. So we had 3 games of 20 minutes against Daventry, Egham, and there was another team from up north somewhere. And a mind-blowing experience. You get to go in the England changing room before the game and do your pre-match chat, and then into the tunnel, and out you go. So we had a real mixed bag of talent. Some kids, those lads that are coming through the Colts into the adult section, and 2 of those scored. You know, a 17-year-old lad scores in the corner at Twickenham. I mean, doesn't get much better than that, does it? So, yeah, it's a fantastic day. We got looked after really, really well, and it's obviously a once-in-a-lifetime thing that it's taken me a long time, but 37 years of every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and finally I've hit the box. It's just too old to do anything about it properly, but there you go.
Really exciting. What was your speech in the change room before going out, or in the tunnel?
Is this a family show?
It is a family show, but you can.
Yeah. What do you want me to say? I think for me that if you listen, it was meant to be a fun day, and it was about winning. There was no medals, there was no cups, but you're still at the home of rugby, so you got to treat it with respect. So, you know, physicality is massively important to me in rugby. So I wanted us to make sure that we were physical, and you can't say that by handing around a few sweets and saying nice words, can you, Woodsy? So. Yes, enjoyment. I certainly told the boys to take it in. You know, when you run on that pitch, it's massive. You got no idea how big those stands are, and don't know how many times I've been to watch rugby, and you sort of run out onto the turf and you go, "Oh my God, it's just massive." So it's just really for the boys just to love the experience, take it all in. But you know, when the whistle blows, then we're at the home of rugby. We may as well play a bit, chaps. So yeah, no, it was just phenomenal.
Sort of a sort of lifetime achievement almost for you, was it?
It wasn't about me really. I only no. It was a lifetime. Well, everyone says a dream, but you never really dream it because you never think you're going to get there. So I think for me that all the players that went, there's a lot of people there that do an awful lot of work at the club as well. So it wasn't about their ability. It's they're just, it's like every grassroots has got people that just give everything they've got. And it was just a nice way for them to get a little bit of a thank you for the work and the graft that they do. I think most of the boys that were on the bus on the way home were going home packing bags and then went on a 4-day tour to somewhere mad. And I'm not sure, no one knows if they were alive yet, and they came back on Sunday. So yeah, it was unbelievable, brilliant opportunity. We made the most of it, and I'm sure there was a lot of very, very happy people. All the friends and family were there as well. So it was a brilliant day, DJs. You couldn't have asked for a better day. But weirdly, grass pitch, it's not one of these hybrid ones. And I watched from the side of it, everything looks a bit slow. It's underneath like 2 or 3 inches of grass, it's like this. And it's really, really quick. It even seems quicker than a 4G. So there was 1 or 2 people blowing out of some orifices that shouldn't have been. But yeah, just a brilliant experience, mate, yeah.
Stuff. No, I'm really pleased for you that it happened, and good for the guys at Gosford as well. And that's down to all the hard work at Gosford as well. So that's brilliant. My last question: any aspiring rugby player? I've probably asked you this before. Where do they need to go? Where do they need to go to start off their rugby career?
If they got a sense of humour, Gosford All Blacks. Yeah. Well, I think it's about 11 or 12 clubs in Oxfordshire, and we're all within about 2 leagues of each other, so we're all fishing the same pond. But yeah, just go somewhere, and if you don't enjoy it and you're not enjoying it, then don't give up on that. Try somewhere else, because everybody, have a slightly different culture. Some are very, very keen because they want to progress and they're not that interested in weaker players. But rugby is a game for all, and you'll find your level, and you find your level and you enjoy it. So yeah, there's lots of good clubs locally, really. But yeah, just give it a whirl. But yeah, we certainly have a crack at Gosford, that is for sure. Yeah.
As always, entertaining interviewing Matt Watts. Thank you. Good luck for the season. I hope it goes well. And thanks again for joining us on Ox Sports Unleashed. Thank you. That was Matt Watts there from Gosford All Blacks. I've just got to make sure I know what the next thing I'm going to do. I think we might actually be showing some rugby highlights. It's actually probably the right thing. You've got a mic.
I got a mic.
You've got your own mic. That's brilliant.
Yeah, hopefully it's working. Yeah,
we could do a duet. No, that's not.
We've actually got a lot of viewers at the moment. No, we've got a lot of viewers at the moment. We don't want to put them off, do we? So we won't be singing tonight. We can assure you we won't be singing. Yeah, coming up now, so we have a little bit more rugby union for you. And on Friday night last week, Chinner hosted Nottingham Archers in the English Championship. It was a terrific game of rugby, I have to say. It was under the lights at Kingsley Road, a crowd around 2,000. Again, Nottingham went in front early on. It was an absolutely terrific second half performance. Chinner pulled back with a couple of penalties to make it 6-5 to themselves, but then Nottingham broke through a little breakaway there to make it 10-6 to Nottingham. And I have to say that they were pretty good in the first half and they converted that try. But the second half, Chinner completely blew Nottingham away under the lights. The atmosphere was great. And Darryl, as you know, the atmosphere at Kingsley Road is pretty amazing.
It's brilliant.
This was a good try. Now, we don't have a try of the season competition, but one of the tries that Chinner scored actually did feature in the English Championship Try of the Week competition. I think it might be this one where he was tackled and then he managed a great, no, not this one, there you go, but this was a good try anyway.
Good try. Good try.
Luke Carter going over right in between the posts to pull themselves back to 17-13, and then strong Chinner pack pushing towards the line, and then another try, and again going closer to the post from Luke Carter again for his second try of the game to put Chinner in front. As you can see, a big crowd at Kingsley Road, and
that's fantastic, isn't it?
It was brilliant, and as we went, this was the try of the week, I think. It was a really good tackle there, but he didn't drop the ball, got back up and sprinted for the line, and I think that got 36% of the votes this week. Grant Hughes,
decent.
Amazing, at that pace to not lose control of the ball and get back up on his feet to score was brilliant. And as you can see, Chinner just completely battering Nottingham in these dying moments. Another great try here. The pace and the movement and the passing. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. And it's like watching Usain Bolt. Brilliant try. And a little bit of a flourish there from Nathan Chamberlain.
That was decent.
Just diving over to make it 32-17 there. That was converted as well. Chamberlain actually converted every single try as well, which was good. Nottingham, their conversions weren't great, to be honest. They didn't convert as many. But again, really good pass out to the right wing and going over in the corner. Good tackle there again. Grant Hughes getting his second try of the evening as well, to make it 39, and then that was converted. Nottingham did pull one back with an unconverted try, and I think this may be the try. Indeed it is. Yep, there you go. That was the final try, and that was full time, and it was Chinner 41, Nottingham 22 in the English Championship. Chinner are currently in mid-table. The camera's now gone as well, just because we are having... Oh, there we go. Hello, we're back. We don't just throw this together.
Oh, yes, we do.
We certainly do.
It shows we do tonight.
Brilliant game. They've got a really tough one this weekend, though, Chinner. They're away to the Ealing Trail Finders. They're top of the league. They're a fully professional side, as are Nottingham, to be fair, but Ealing Trail Finders away, that will be a really monumentally tough game. But they've got two more home games coming up. They've got London Scottish the week after, so Saturday week, and then the last game of the season is at home to Cambridge, who of course they beat in the not the Prem Cup. Interesting point from that, Chinner won't be in the Prem Cup next season. But nobody will, because the RFU have decided that it's going to be just for Premiership clubs. And the reason for that, and it kind of makes sense, the league in the Championship is expanding by 2 teams, so there's going to be an extra 4 games. So actually they're going to have a long season. So the decision was made. I spoke to the chairman last week, and the decision has been made that it will be only for the Premiership clubs, which is a bit of a shame. But Chinner again proving there that they're really, really capable. And if you want to get yourself down to Kingsley Road, please do so, because it's a cracking night's entertainment. Right, moving on, we're going to now change to the round ball, and the football season has drawn to a close. I was at the Oxfordshire Senior Cup final on Saturday, and it was Ardley United against Tame United. Ardley United actually went in front in the first half with a goal from Lewis Gabidon Senior, and his son Lewis Gabidon Jr. was also playing in the second half. But Tame United fought back, and in the second half they scored just before half time, and then in the second half they ran away with the game and ended up winning by 5-1. But it was a really spirited performance from Ardley, who play at a lower level. And after the match, I caught up with first of all Jules McCalman from Ardley, who is actually leaving the club at the end of this season, and then after that we spoke with the Tame manager Ben Williams and the player of the match Braden Daniel, who the kids at Tame United absolutely adore him. They were absolutely mobbing him after the game. So so 5-1 to Tame. Here's an interview with Jules McCalman, followed by a chat with Ben Williams and Braden Daniel. Well, Julian McCalman joins me. Julian, first half I thought you were excellent and probably arguably unlucky to go in at 1-1, but I guess the second half, Tame United, they didn't blow you away as such, but they just had that little bit more for you against you.
Yeah, completely that. I thought first half we were superb, sort of suffered a blow halfway through it with Deck picking up a bit of an injury, who I thought kept Braden particularly quiet. Switched off, which is what we're trying to say to these guys before the game. The higher you go up the levels, the less you get away with them sort of things and let them equalise. And I thought second half, if we could come out and find any sort of level that we found in the first half, we'd be close. But I think the second half you just see their levels and why they were really unlucky to miss out on the playoffs.
I mean, you led 1-0 and deservedly led 1-0. You arguably dominated the first 30 minutes or so, but it's a bit of a hammer blow, isn't it? They always say that conceding just before a break is a hammer blow. And what did you say at half time? I guess you were saying that try and put that behind you and get onto the front foot in the second half.
I actually tore a bit of a strip off them, because I said, although we were winning 1-0, and I thought Lewis Gabidon, who got the goal for us, was absolutely superb. I was a bit disappointed that they was coming away from the game plan a little bit, and the goal was evident of that. We lost the ball early on, which led to them being able to get a corner, which led to the goal. And I just said to them, show a bit of belief. For me, I standing there watching it, looked like a side that were full of belief, and even when things ain't going their way, they seem to stick to the game plan. Whereas my guys, sometimes it's a little bit of a job to keep whipping the horse, if that makes sense. Because a lot of them don't believe in themselves. And if they showed a bit of belief, I thought they would get something out of the game, and it just didn't quite work that way.
But a terrific second half performance. Ardley came with the game plan in the first half and it was 1-1, but in the second half you turn on the style and have run out winners for the third year in a row.
Yes, first half was a struggle for us, for sure. We weren't at the levels that we expect ourselves to be at. No idea what happened at half time, but they managed to turn it around and played really well second half. And that's how we played all season, really. We played in bursts, 15, 20 minutes and scored lots of goals. We did it again today, so fair play to them for turning it around.
And I guess it's important to stress you've had a terrific season, haven't you? You just missed out on the playoffs. So to finish the season with some silverware is probably the least you deserve, because you've had a great season and there's more to come next year.
Yeah, it has been a really good season. We just missed out on the playoffs, like you say, in the last game of the season. The boys have been fantastic all year, and just to miss out on that was a shame, but we knew we had the cup final to look forward to, so something to play for, and it's great to finish with all.
Braden, man of the match performance from yourself, 2 goals and some assists as well, and some fans behind that goal that absolutely loved you to bits. But what does it feel to you as a young man to win the Senior Cup?
Yeah, it's obviously the first time I've won it under a great group of lads. And yeah, to be under their wing is fantastic, and I've learned so much from them, and yeah, it's great.
And there we have it. Interviews there with Jules McCalman and Ben Williams, and also Braden Daniel. So team running out 5-1 winners for the Oxfordshire Senior Cup. So well done to them. I think it would be remiss of me at this moment in time to not mention things that we've done in the past where we're always after your clips, your funny moments that have happened in sporting arenas around our county. If you want to send us anything, we can still be with you through the summer months. So if you've got any clips, please do send it to us at that email address again, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We will use it. And it really is important to say at this moment in time as well that we will be with you through the summer. We've got a documentary of the full Jack Shannon stable visit. We've got a behind the scenes documentary of Oxsports Unleashed. Where can
just
you
so
get
that we don't just throw it together.
Well, it might do.
We definitely throw it together.
We've got some funny bits as well, some compilations through what we've done over the last 27 weeks. Would you believe 27 weeks in this series?
We might replay Mr. and Mr. again.
We might play.
That's very funny.
That. Yeah, we might replay that. So there's lots to look forward to. There will be some live podcasts through the summer as well. That's what we're hoping to do. Bringing you back, through the cricket season, some live interviews possibly, but an update of everything that's happening in the Home Counties Premier League and Cherwell League around our wonderful county. So
live from Cheshire or something, maybe.
We could do.
We could do a live podcast from the north of England.
You never know. We could do something like that. Yeah. We're sticking with football, and there was a cup match at Oxford City's ground, wasn't there?
It was. Trophy day. Whitney
Vikings. Who were they playing, Kieren? Remind me. Barton United. Yeah. It was a 1-1, the game, but Whitney Vikings ran out 3-2 winners on penalties. And after the match, our intrepid reporter KDog caught up with manager Nigel Lomas and the captain.
You've written it down.
Is... What's her name?
Bethany.
Well there
done,
you go. Here's their interview.
Okay, so the Oxfordshire FA Under-18 Girls Cup final has just finished. It finished Barton United 1, Whitney Vikings 1, but Whitney Vikings won on penalties by 3-2. Joining me is the manager of Whitney Vikings, Nigel Lomas, who me and him go back a long way. Nigel, you got a huge beaming smile on your face. Terrific afternoon, really good spectacle, and you've got some silverware.
Yeah, and I said to the girls after the final whistle, Herculean effort, and they'd already basically won. We had lots of injuries, including my captain here, who's played the second half with a bad ankle. We dug in, we didn't play our normal game, we just stuck in there, and somehow we took the lead, and then held on at the end for the penalties, and then it's a lottery. Well played, Barton, but yeah, Herculean effort from my girls.
It's important to note as well, isn't it, that you're an under-17 side actually, so you've got another year at this competition next year. So you've got to the final, you've proved obviously that you're good enough to get to the final and win it, and all to play for next season.
No, exactly. And actually, we've got 2 girls in our team who are actually 15. We were playing a year up, under 17. So we played them in the league recently, and the Barton girls were arriving in cars. So there is a bit of an age difference, but yeah, they're incredible.
Beth, I'll bring you in as the captain. You've got your medal around your neck there, and what's it like leading this group of girls? Because you've got all the way through to the final, and you've now got some silverware and a medal to play for.
It's fantastic. I love it because it's not just like a group of football. Everyone gets so well outside of that, and then I think it reflects on the pitch, and they just play so well as a team, and it's just great to be a part of.
And how has your season gone in general? Obviously, a cup final is the pinnacle at the end of the season, but have you had a good season generally?
Yeah, I think so. We've all had a good time, enjoyed it, which I think is the main thing. And we don't win everything, but we've had a good time, so I think it's good.
And that's important, isn't it? The enjoyment factor at this level is absolutely key, because hopefully some of these girls will go on to maybe forge careers elsewhere as they get older and older. And I'm guessing you're one of those, and you must be very proud to have led this side out today.
Yeah, I think it just makes me happy to know that everyone's happy in doing that and being there together, and it makes them happy and they come because they enjoy it. And then the winner is just
But what do you think of your manager? Is he a good manager? Is he a hard taskmaster, or does he just let you go and play and express yourselves?
He's a complete idiot. I'm joking. He's great. We wouldn't want any different manager, because some of them are probably pessimists, but I think they're great. We love them both, Nigel and Gary.
Brilliant, well done, Bethany. Nigel, I'll bring you back in. Mentioned earlier there, the spectacle of these cup finals. The Oxfordshire FA put some really good finals on, don't they? You play at really good venues on a beautiful surface. It's a great opportunity for the girls to showcase themselves.
It is, and even more so this year with the live band. They've made it a real good sort of family day. Yeah, they do put on a good show, and it's much appreciated.
And just talking about your team again, you mentioned that you had a lot of injuries. I think I gather your daughter's out with has been out with an ACL injury, but you brought her onto the pitch just to experience this. It's a great experience for the girls, isn't it, to play at a semi-professional side on a really good surface, and surely that would sort of give them the spirit and the will to go on and proceed with their careers in football.
But having said that, playing on a massive pitch, barely with no subs and injured players is tricky, so you have to adapt. But yeah, it's great the whole day. It's what it should be about.
Brilliant, Nigel, thanks very much. Congratulations, Bethany. That's Nigel Lomas and Bethany, the under-18 winning captain, and it finished 1-1, but Whitney Vikings won 3-2 on penalties. There you go, that's Nigel Lomas and Bethany from the Whitney Vikings under-18s after their under-18 cup win over Barton United on Saturday at Court Place Farm. And that Court Place Farm on that day, the FA Premier League trophy and the WSL trophy were there, and a lot of people having photographs with it. The eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed that the amateur has departed the scene, and we've got somebody much more professional now. This is Matt Warner, the captain of Oxford Downs Cricket Club, who are playing in the Home Counties Premier League, and Oxford Downs obviously host us every week during the winter, so only right really when we're going to preview the Home Counties League to speak to the captain of one of the best sides in Oxfordshire. I'm saying that because I don't want Matt to hit me. So Matt, thanks for joining me. So we've had a lot of pre-season. It's been an unbelievably dry and warm pre-season, which is totally bucking the trend of recent years. How are Downs shaping up for the season ahead?
Yeah, I think we're feeling pretty good. We early April we had a bit of a pre-season tour down to Bath. Played a couple of games, drank a lot of beer, bit of get the lads together and get into the season. We've had a game against Bicester away, game against Buckingham away. Both went well, good wins. Bit of a tough weekend last Saturday in the T20 comp, but bit of a different format for us and a few unavailable. So hoping going into first league game, we should shape up okay.
And it's been like I said, it's been an amazing pre-season really, because unlike other years, you have actually managed to get out on the park and play lots and lots of games. So I guess in some ways, and it won't just be the case for you, it'll be other clubs as well, that you're going to be probably more prepared for the season to start on Saturday than perhaps previous years, where it's been chasing the rain and trying to sort of get in between the showers. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, we look back to last year, and I think end of April we were even barely getting on for a 35 over game the week before the season. So yeah, we feel good. Everyone's been hitting balls and bowling. So yeah, I think everyone's ready to go. Tongue in cheek, Matt said one of the best sides in Oxfordshire, but actually you are, because you're in the Home Counties Premier League. It's a top level of cricket, some serious cricketers in the league completely that you're going to be up against. And I guess that this is your second season. You had a really good first season. I guess the second season you might get that sort of second season syndrome where clubs know a little bit more about you. So it's going to be another tough league for you this year. Yeah, I think so. Obviously, in our league now it's us, Banbury and Aston Rowan. We've got Aston Rowan on Saturday, so a bit of a derby first up. I definitely think first season we took a few teams by surprise. Probably didn't know. Probably played against a lot of our players over the time, but as a club and as how our pitch plays and how we play as a team, I think we potentially surprised a few teams. So we're expecting, a bit more of those guys to know what we're about and stuff. So I think it's up to us to keep on improving and match them again. So
Yeah, you've got some serious teams in this league. You mentioned Aston Rowan, who you're playing this weekend. You've got Banbury in there, who of course are always there or thereabouts. High Wycombe, Henley. It is a top league, and I guess that it's not a case of hitting the ground running, but just trying to get that consistency, isn't it? And if you can't, if you're in a position where you can't win a game, essentially try not to lose it, and that's probably the way forward for the season ahead.
Yeah, I think obviously over the last sort of 5 or 6 years, we've had a pretty settled team. It took us a while to get up into this league. We felt for a while that we probably deserved to be in this league talent-wise and how we've played. We've always been challenging last few years, and it was really about being consistent enough to get promoted. And, again, when we came up last year, we did well against Henley, we did well against Wycombe, but it was then about consistency and keeping that going week to week to keep us progressing. I think that's our biggest area to look at. As I said, Henley, we won the league, we beat them and had them 9 down one game, but then we also lost to the bottom of the league. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. So we know we can compete. It's just about progressing and making sure we can stay as consistent as we can.
Now, you have got an overseas player coming over, probably not necessarily as well prepared as he might be because there's been a few issues, but I gather that your overseas does arrive this Saturday, and you said off air that he arrives at 6:30 in the morning and he's straight into the first team.
Yeah.
Louis Delport.
Yeah, he's had some visa issues. I think him being a South African living in New Zealand has caused a lot of problems for checks and police checks and DBS stuff and all this kind of stuff. But his visa was approved he tried to call me at about 1 a.m. last night, but it got approved, and he's booked the first flight he can get on, which lands at 6:30 on Saturday morning. So as long as there's no delays, I think he's keen to play. I asked him if he's happy to play after being on 24-hour flight, and he was like, "Yep, ready to go." So he seems like he's keen and he's ready to go.
I can just picture him up the aisle of the aircraft having a net with some of the passengers. Who's drawn the short straw to go and pick him up on Saturday morning? Is it?
It's either Tom Welch or his wife Emma. So
good old chairman.
Chairman.
Get him to do his job and earn his keep. Matt, you've been captain now this is your second season as captain. So I know you were very proud last year to take it on. Leading this group and leading some really talented cricketers. We've got some good young cricketers coming through, the likes of Henry Welch, who's now in the first team for Oxfordshire. What does that feel to you to lead a group of such talented cricketers? I guess it kind of makes your job a little bit easier, knowing that you can trust and rely on everybody, including those that perhaps have to come up occasionally from the twos, who are also at a good level.
Twos for us last year were brilliant. They got promoted, and all of the guys who came up into the team, and probably about 5 or 6 of them, did a brilliant job for us. So squad wise, last year I'd never felt like I had any fillers or anything like that, so it's been really good from my point of view. I feel like we have depth all the way through. We may not have the top pro talent that a couple of the other teams have, but we feel like as a team we're very together, and our ones and twos are solid, and that's really helped us progress. As how we did so well last year was sort of that team camaraderie really. So
absolutely. And just final question, obviously notwithstanding yourselves where you'll hope to be at the top half of the table, who do you think are the movers and shakers in Div 1? I mean, we've mentioned Henley, Banbury, Aston Rowan. I'm guessing you can't really look past those, and Wycombe as being the sort of the top level teams, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one really. I think those guys have obviously got a lot of good players. Finch, should have won the league last year and came down to the last game of the season. I think Henley will be good. They're always consistent. They know what they're doing. Wycombe have had a bit of a change. They probably lost 3 or 4 very good players, but brought in a similar amount of pretty similar talent. So I'm sure they'll be up there. It's an interesting one. I think there's been quite a lot of change, I think, this winter. So I think the first few weeks will be interesting. So it's for us to go out there and show that we can be top half again as we were last year. So.
Absolutely, and I hope you are, because it's a cracking place to play cricket. It's a great venue, great club, I have to say, and hopefully the weather stays as it has been for the last 6 weeks, and it stays all through the summer, because if it does, we'll be looking at yellow dried grass and rapid outfields by the end of the season. Matt, thanks for joining me. I know we were a little bit delayed with the sound issue, so thanks for sticking with us. That's Matt Warner. So that is the home county season this weekend on Saturday. We'd be remiss of me not to mention, seeing as I've mentioned Oxford Downs, their twos are in Division 1 of the Chowell League as well. So as Matt said, that's really, really important. I think Darryl Woods might possibly get a gig at some point in the threes or the fours when he feels like it. I gather he might have to umpire this weekend possibly. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Right, we're going to go back to football, and thanks Matt for joining in. So we've got a couple of games in the lower leagues that have happened over the last couple of days, and one of those is the North Berks Charity Shield final, and that was Compton against Berensfield, which happened at the weekend, and Compton ran out by 2-0 winners, and we've got a couple of the goals, well, they're both goals here for you. So the first goal, a bit of a low sun, as you often get, a big crowd there again, which is always great to see in these cup finals. And the first goal, a nice bit of control there, just held off a challenge and into the net. That was Crazy Robinson with the first goal, I think, and as you can see, it's at Abingdon United's ground again. And then they went 2-0 up through Elliot King. There's a bit better vision now because the sun has set, thankfully. Looks like it's a free kick from the left and into the box. In fact, it's gone straight in, so there you go. Oh, well, it's a shame that's come so late, really, because that might have been a contender for goal of the season. Dan was suggesting it might have been, actually. But congratulations to Compton, 2-0 winners there over Berensfield in the North Berks Charity Shield final. Whitney and District League, they also had a final as well on it was last night, actually, so up to date with the latest scores. And this was the Watts Junior Cup final. This was Uffington United against Moreton Rangers. Uffington lost the game. Moreton Rangers from just over the border, so we'll say they're one of ours because they're in the Whitney and District League. They ran out 4-2 winners. The goals for Uffington was from Rennie and an own goal, and a brace for Hart, and goals from Shipman and Peters for Moreton Rangers. And as you can see, they're pretty happy with their lot there, and they've won the Watts Junior Challenge Cup final. So that was last night. And finally, on the local football front, just over the weekend, was the Oxfordshire Junior Shield final as well, which is another one of the county's premier competitions. That was between Hardwick Sports and Hayley. Hardwick from the Banbury District Lord Jersey League and Hayley from the Whitney and District League. Bit of a strange game this. It was 0-0, and then the penalty shootout was 9-8 to Hardwick. So Hardwick won that game 9-8 on penalties. Congratulations to Hardwick, and hard luck and commiserations to Hayley. Right, I think we'll now go back to the cricket. We're bouncing between the sports, but we can talk a little bit now around Oxfordshire's men's and women's teams, who both had pretty decent weekends, actually. The men's team, they did lose to Berkshire on the Sunday, but on the bank holiday Monday, they entertained Devon at Abingdon Vale, and as you can see there, they bowled out for 264, just a couple of balls to spare. Dylan Driscoll top scoring, opening the batting, he got 78, and Hayden Russo with 55 for Oxfordshire, and then Devon all out for 154. We mentioned a moment ago, Henry Welch, young Welchie, got 4 for 31. I watched him bowl on the live stream. He was bowling some pretty good stuff, and Hayden Russo completed a good game for himself with 2 for 32. The women, they did really well as well in the T20 County Cup. As you can see there, they batted first after winning the toss. A lot of teams are batting first early doors this season, aren't they? Because the pitch is being so dry. 100%. So, and as you can see, Oxfordshire racked up 161 for 6. So my math says that's 8 runs and over, just over. So there you go. Well done. Thank you. Sophie Mitchellmore with 67 from 54 balls. Lottie Oxton with 47 from 21 balls at a strike rate of over 200, so that's impressive. And then Wiltshire all out with 1 over to spare. It would look actually potentially quite a good game there, wasn't it? 18-run win. Wiltshire were sort of up with the rate, but they fell to an 18-run defeat to Sophie Grayson with 2 for 20. And Chloe Westbury with 2 for 36.
I can tell you a story about Chloe Westbury. First female bowler to ever get me out.
Blimey.
Yeah, Chelbury last year. So she got a pint. She got a pint for doing that.
Yeah.
It's good. So shows that we, sportsmen.
Absolutely. Next game for Oxfordshire is Hertfordshire on Oxfordshire Women. This is Hertfordshire this coming Saturday on the 10th at St Edward's School. So if you're at a loose end and you want to watch some top quality women's cricket, then get yourself over to St Edward's School on the Woodstock Road in Oxford, and we will, I'm sure, appreciate your support, or they will anyway.
They will, yeah, definitely. And also they're doing well, aren't they? So they could end up playing in the next round against Tier 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
really good. Stay with us, because coming up is the very exciting goal of the season competition, but definitely worth watching that. But Darryl, we're now going to switch to a slightly smaller, harder ball.
We are.
And over to you.
Yeah, we had the privilege of interviewing Matt Cook a couple of weeks ago on Oxsports Unleashed, the coach for Oxfordshire under-18 hockey, and they had won the championship 2 weeks ago, but they had 2 games to go, and they managed to win both of those games. And as you can see, 100% record, 24 points. Goal difference there, 21.
Some big counties in there as well.
Difference, yeah. I think they've done incredibly well, punched well above their weight, and there's the great celebration. I'm sure that wasn't champagne.
Sparkling
for
water.
Under 18s. I'm sure it was sparkling water, yeah. But that was being sprayed over the team there. It's always good to see that, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And there they are having a debrief, I think, after the game, and listening to Matt, and presumably congratulating the guys on a wonderful,
great pictures.
Yeah, superb, aren't they?
And great memories as well, isn't it? We talk often about coaching the under-18s at cricket, but these kids, they'll form friendships for life, won't they? And
they will do.
And look at the smiles. Yeah, great memories. They'll have these memories forever. And well done to Oxfordshire under-18s. We're very, very proud of you. There's Matt Cook as well, and brilliant, absolutely fantastic. It just goes to show once again, Darryl, that our little county, we do okay, don't we?
Oxfordshire Hockey South Champions 2025. Well done to all the Oxfordshire under-18 hockey, and well done to Matt Cook. Great interview a couple of weeks ago. If you haven't seen that, go back to episode 25, I think it was, and have a look again.
About 450 have. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been
absolutely
really, really good. So,
funnily enough, it's quite funny. Patrick said this last week, that more people are watching now. We're coming to the end of the series.
That normally happens, doesn't it? They think we'll just watch them to the end, so make sure they have gone for the series. I think that's probably what it is.
I wouldn't blame them. Watching Tweedledum and Tweedledummer every week.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know who's which, but
that's you. Definitely, you're both.
Many congratulations to them and to Matt. It was a tremendous achievement, and that takes us on to Speedway.
It does.
Oxfordshire Speedway this week has been quite successful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Oxford Spires were first out and won comfortably. I haven't got the score, on that one, I have to be honest. But it was an away win for them. Against Poole. So
that's really good, because Poole Pirates are a very, very good side.
Decent. And again on Oxford Cheetahs, it's Poole Pirates again, and they ran out 46-44 winners. That's a real close encounter. That would have been an exciting encounter to watch, actually. And if you get yourself down to the Oxford Stadium there, it's well worth it. It's a great night, and they do some really good bits of entertainment as well as the Speedway. So I think that's good. Well, that does take us, doesn't it, to...
This is what we've been waiting for.
We've been waiting for this bit.
Goal of the season.
Now, last year's goal of the season was pretty good. We still haven't given the trophies to the winners.
It's on its way. Ken Charles, if you're watching, it's on its way. That was Ken Charles from Banbury last year.
Good, wasn't it?
And also, we need to get definitely need to get Cullen Angus in because he lives local. So we'll get him in and give him his trophy. But we will do more trophies. So shall I introduce this, or do you want to introduce it? We've picked 8 of the best goals that we've seen at I say grassroots level, but from step 2 downwards, basically. So Oxford City downwards, we must acknowledge and doff our hat to Cameron Brannigan, Oxford United, because that's probably the goal of the season. Absolutely. But he plays too high a level. So Cameron Brannigan, he gets a virtual trophy, for that fantastic goal that he scored at Cardiff a couple of weeks ago. But we've picked 8 goals, or rather Patrick has picked 8 goals. He's done a really good job. We can blame him, despite the fact that he's blown up the system today. He has done something right this week, so that's good. And he's picked 8 Bobby Dazzlers, and I think these are all really good goals. So basically what we're going to ask you to do, and we'll put this on our social media channels, and we'll have a poll. And last year, I think we had about 500 votes. It was incredible. Really, really good support. So we'll have these 8 goals now, and then we'll pop it onto the social media. Social media Wes will do that for us, and then we will announce the winners at the start of next season. We'll probably drop it into social media beforehand, and I promise those who win, we will get the trophies to you. I promise. So without further ado, after that very long introduction, here is the 2024-25 Ox Sports Unleashed Goal of the Season competition.
Flicked into the 6-yard box by Pakawa, bounces around, Flea gets there, goes down, that's got to be a penalty, not given. McEachran, what a goal from Zach McEachran! That was...
That's a toughie, isn't it?
It's not difficult. Not easy
to pick the best one out of that.
Producer wants number A, letter A. He wants that. He's a bit biased.
I'm not so sure. I think Harry Riley there and Ryan Oliver are the two that I probably would look at. But
it's your choice, not his.
It's your choice.
We won't
vote.
We won't vote.
But as KDog's mentioned, that will go out on our social media. Wes will sort that out, and you can vote accordingly. And please do. It was great interaction last year.
It really
was. It was good fun to watch it play out, actually. So please do get involved, as always.
All we needed was David Dimbleby. It was like watching the local election results coming in, wasn't it? It kept fluctuating between the two, and I think it was between Sam Barder and Ken Charles, and Ken Charles was on top, and then Sam Barder was on top, and then, if you remember, Kenzie Isaac, the under-18, came up from behind, absolutely. And it was really difficult. And I think it was eventually won by about 5 votes, and Ken Charles won it by about 5 votes. So please do vote, because it's a brilliant competition. We will get the trophies sorted, and we'll see if we can get somebody to present them live on the show. Get them in. Absolutely,
that would be good as well.
Absolutely.
So, hopefully we can manage. I can't talk tonight. It's terrible. It's this mic. in front of me. I'm not used to it. We'll try and get them in. That's what
you're trying to get. Put your teeth in, Woodsy, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Amazingly, despite the fact we started 15 minutes late, we're going to be under the hour today. So that's amazing.
Quite interesting.
So the final furlong. Final furlong. You see what I did there? We are now going to bring you, for the last time this season, all the results from the last 7 days. It doesn't include last night's Watts Junior Cup final result because I forgot to put it in. Sorry, but we have mentioned them. So we have mentioned them. So, yep, this is very, very sad. The last results roundup of the season, and there was a lot more than I thought there was going to be. So roll the results, Electrical Patrick. There you go. That is the last result service of this season, and thanks to Dan actually to putting all that together every week. Well, I put it together. He just makes it into a video, but he actually, I've got to say, he actually got it in very early today. It's normally the last thing that arrives, normally at about 7:45, but because we were late today, he got it in early. So that just sod's law, isn't it? So that, Darryl, I think just about wraps up our 27th and final episode of Oxsports Unleashed for this season.
Series 2.
Very sad.
Yeah, it's sad times. We enjoy bringing this absolute load of rubbish to you each week. It's
definitely that. This today was particularly rubbish, but there you go.
I mean, we've had great fun, and I was going to ask you, KDog, actually, what your highlight was through this series. I think I've got a couple of highlights, but what's your thoughts?
You asked me this last year as well and put me on the spot, and I've got to have a think now. I think Rocket Ronnie, definitely. Brilliant. A young lad that's doing well in karting. So that was fantastic. I've got to say Chinner because as you know, I might have mentioned this a few times, but I quite enjoy going to Chinner. They're quite decent.
Matt Warner's still in the building.
Matt Warner was fantastic. He was fantastic. Yeah. Matt Watts today as well. But no, generally, I mean, we've had a lot of engagement, particularly the last few weeks. I know we jest about it, but it is sometimes hard to get the views because we appreciate that we're asking you to spend an hour of your time with us on a Thursday night, and we're blown away that you do actually. And a lot of you do live, and if you don't, you watch it back. I mean, last week we've had over 500 views, which is just absolutely
wasn't on it.
Well, possibly, but there were 450 the week before, Darryl, as well. So we've had 1,000, well over 1,000 viewers in the last couple of weeks, which is mind-blowing, to be honest, because it's just a humble little show. We're very amateur, as you've seen tonight.
Really?
We're very amateur, and we're just, as I said, Tweedledum and Tweedledummer. But we do enjoy bringing it to you. And as we've said right from the outset on Series 1, Episode 1, we're just trying to bring a little bit of a spotlight to Oxfordshire sport that's very sadly lacking elsewhere. And that's why we do it, and we'll keep doing it as long as you keep watching. If you stop watching, we'll obviously revisit whether we need to. But at the moment, the views are getting more and more. And importantly, I have to say, we had a target of 400 subscribers. We've gone well past that now, and that's why we will... Even though the series is over, we will ensure we bring you content through the summer because we know the importance of keeping our subscribers, and the best way to do that is to provide more content, which is why Darryl mentioned earlier, if you've got anything during the summer, be that a brilliant wicket or a hat-trick or a century in football. Score a century in football would be good fun, wouldn't it? A century in cricket. If I get my first ever 100, Darryl, I might do something. Seriously, send it in to us.
Freezes over.
Well, you're my coach, so it should happen. It should happen at some point, surely. You're supposed to big me up and say,
it's going to happen this year, definitely.
Yeah, I'd say 400.
Do I get a rise then?
400 wickets for the club, by the way. Please send your stuff in to us, oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. That's oxsportsunleashed@gmail.com. We will use it during the summer, and if there's anything particularly worth highlighting, we will bring it to you at the start of our next series, which we think will probably be back end of September, early October, as it was this year, and we'll as we did last year, do a roundup of the summer in that first show as well. So thank you. We're still a long way off 1,000 subscribers where we can monetize the channel, but that's our ultimate aim. And then if we can get some sort of monetization, we will, as we've already done this year with Rocket Ronnie and with Ben Cox last year, we'll look to plough that back into grassroots sport in Oxfordshire, because that's what this is all about. So that's a bit of a long-winded way of saying thank you, but I'll now hand over to you for your final
great words there. I have to say that there's so many thank yous, and I am going to go through them this time. Our thanks to Dan Smith. He's now retired. He's had enough of us.
He's not retired. He'll
do some stuff for us, buddy. He'll do some stuff. But thanks to Dan over the last 2 years, because his work has been tireless and free of charge. Because we're all volunteers.
We don't pay him.
No. Our thanks to Lyon Ryde for providing some really incisive and really powerful
detail
of local football. I joke every week calling them different things, but their work is tireless, and it's a great little segment of the show, and it's an important part of the show. So our thanks to Patrick Locke, Colin Ryde and Paul Lyon for that segment. We've got to mention Wes, haven't we?
Wes, we saw him last week.
We did.
He does exist.
Wes Spearman, he's presented the show, he's produced the show.
Tells me off every week for being on my phone.
Tells you off, and does all our social media stuff. So he's a busy lad with Hampshire cricket at the moment, and to take the time to do some of the editing that he does on
phenomenal.
It's just brilliant. And we thank him very much. Obviously Matt Bowden as well has produced the odd show, and we thank him for all the equipment that we use,
which we've broken today. That's just brilliant. And thank you to you for watching, because without you, there's no Oxsports Unleashed. So, we do thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because it is, it's something we do enjoy doing, but, we need the viewers, don't we? And we couldn't also forget a new addition to our team this year. Professional. He's professionalised us a little bit.
Blake Bint. He's put some great stuff together, certainly on the cricket side and dart side as well. Yep. So, through 27 episodes, we have showcased so many sports. I wish I'd have done a count on it, but we have really put the spotlight on grassroots sports in Oxfordshire, and we will continue to do that into Series 3.
Maybe in the summer we might resurrect Challenge KDog, because my thumb's still knackered. Can I say knackered? Yeah, it's past 9 o'clock. Thumb's still knackered, but I reckon I could get in the ring with the Axeman. I reckon I could maybe I could try cricket. That'd be good, wouldn't it? Try cricket? No, not worth that. Maybe go and have a training session with Ross Jenkins at Oxford City and get put through my paces. Maybe even have a crack at. Well, if I had a crack at karting, I'd break the cart, wouldn't I? So perhaps not karting.
No, probably not.
But we're going to take up Ben Cox's offer. Definitely, he's offered us. We haven't done it yet, but he offered us the opportunity for a virtual sort of e-racing. I'll be very competitive in that. You will be too. And who knows? We might have, by the start of next series, we might have an England cricketer in our team. Maybe. Who knows? He did all right. He got 40. He did okay.
Enjoyable experience, I have to say, but I won't go on about that because
really,
well, it's unusual, but I won't. Thanks again for everybody watching, wherever you've watched us, whether it is in your bathrooms, your jacuzzis, your hot tubs, or your greenhouses. We thank you for watching, and please join us again for next series when we'll unleash some more Ox Sports. It's good night from me.
Have a good summer. See ya.